Barbara, we're back. All right. There's we just had
I need my coffee for like
you need your I know, right?
You know, there are a lot of people listening. They don't know that reference.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
Long Island is neither long. No, we can't do that. That's copyrighted. Whoopsies.
Mike Myers is coming for you, man.
Scratch the copyrighted material. All right. So Babs and I are talking about, we just had a really good conversation about how some of the languages of influence are laddered. Look at that. I used a vocabulary word on each other. And so if you are going to build the most important coalition, you probably need a little bit of consulting. And so Barb was telling me the story. We made another card for it. I'm going to hold it up. This is not my beautiful handwriting. It's Barb's. But 2 funerals and a wedding. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? 2 funerals and a wedding. We were going to auction these, Barb. We should.
You know what? That's another reference that people probably don't get. They've probably never seen the movie.
Yeah, 2 weddings and a funeral. Yeah. And this is 2 funerals and a wedding.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, but tell us what this means, because I was sharing some of my experience earlier, and you alluded to, well, that's 2 funerals and a wedding. So how do I, in the essence of trying to get coalition, and I'm trying to consult in order to get coalition, how do I die twice and get married?
We don't want you to die twice.
Yeah.
We want you. You don't have to get married, but we want you in a significant relationship.
Right. There we go. I mean, I do too. Let's be real.
I know. We'll talk about that later.
Oh gosh.
No, but seriously, coalition building is bringing people together.
Yeah.
There's a really wonderful YouTube video if you ever want to watch it. It's called Dancing Guy.
Okay.
And it's a bunch of people at a folk music festival outside. And this guy, he doesn't have a shirt on, and he's just dancing to the music, and he's doing his own thing. And there's just a sea of people, and they're all just sitting on their blankets, looking at the music with blank stares.
Okay.
And this guy is just, he is just dancing. And this one other guy is watching him, and you see the look on his face. He's like, I'm going to join that guy. And he starts dancing too. And then there's a third guy that joins, and a fourth guy. And then pretty soon, everybody on the entire hill is dancing.
Wow.
And it's like this, you see the 2 guys, like the one guy's dancing, and the other guy gets up and he mirrors, he's doing the same moves that the other guy is doing.
Okay.
And they start like dancing together, and they're just playing, they're being bros, and they're being silly. But when you see people publicly start acknowledging the contributions that you're making, then other people are like, hey, I want my contributions acknowledged too. And this is interesting. Mm-hmm. So you get a first few crazy followers whose ideas are being listened to. And it's really sexy to be part of a startup.
Right.
Because you have that
until you
group.
Are a part of one. No,
well, you're their
it's
core
a great opportunity.
Part of founders.
And you can make a lot of impact very quickly.
You can make a lot of impact. But the one thing that's so sexy about it is people are listening to your ideas.
Yes.
And that you're playing on each other's ideas as you're scaling your business.
Right.
And, that's why, founders have this dilemma. They may not even be making money in the beginning.
Yeah.
But it is so fun collaborating and consulting with one another in a group that coalition forms. And then there's just people who follow it.
Yeah.
And then you get momentum. You get all these people moving together.
Yeah.
I'm headed to South Carolina to work with this kick-ass cool, very fast scaling company. Mm-hmm. I think the average age is 24 or 25 in the company.
My gosh.
But I have rarely seen a culture so healthy, so positive,
That's
so
great.
Optimistic. Mm-hmm. And it's all these people coming together. They know their ideas are going to be listened to.
Right.
The CEO I get to work with, he has a saying. He says, kick ass, feel great.
Yeah.
And it's like those 2 sides. And consulting, your ideas are going to be publicly acknowledged, not by one person.
Right.
But when you combine it with coalition, they're going to be acknowledged by the group. And then you're part of something big.
So so if it's the first time, back to the 2 funerals reference, maybe it's the first time I've ever tried the consulting approach, because maybe in my company, this is a very hard thing to do. And we were talking about the olive branch earlier, in another bit here. what is it like to initially reach out and to try to get the consult, to try to get the brain trust, if you will? What does that really mean? And why is it two funerals first? Why does that happen?
When you are more junior in an organization and
Yeah.
you go to a very senior executive
Yeah.
and you go to them and you say, hey, I would really like your ideas.
Yeah.
First of all, you haven't established credibility in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost feels as if you're taking, but there's no reciprocity.
Yeah.
You're not giving something to the relationship. There's a great Harvard business article. It was written years ago called Reciprocal Mentoring.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of the article is the mentoring does not work because
Yeah.
unless both parties bring something to the table,
Right.
then one person ends up feeling used.
Sure.
And senior executives know that people come into their offices all day long with an agenda.
Yeah.
So when actually you go into a senior executive's office and you say, okay, I'm working on this project. I've pulled all this logic together. I have gone through all of these steps and I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of experience. You've gotten through these kinds of challenges before.
Yeah.
I've made my thinking explicit. I am missing part of the equation.
Right.
Can you help me out?
Right.
And then they jump in and they help you out. And then they're supportive of how you're working.
Yeah.
It's a whole different conversation.
Right.
But I work with, I'm working with a group for, I think it's 13 or 14 years that are high potentials.
Yeah.
And I work with them all face to face. And usually, invariably, we have the senior executives come in and interact with them. It's a really polite organization.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute the senior executives come in the room, everybody clams up.
Interesting.
And they ask questions and they're polite and they socialize, but
Yeah.
they never share any of their strategic ideas.
Interesting.
So I made it a rule a few years ago
Yeah.
that I'm watching and that I will go around to every table. Usually we have a table of like 8 people and we have a very senior executive sitting at the table.
Yeah.
And I tell them that when the senior executives leave,
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving them a report card about whether or not they stretched that senior executive's thinking. They brought in a fresh idea, a new idea, something that was related to the CEO's mandate from the board.
Yeah.
I tell them what that is in advance because I know.
Right. Right.
And then in those conversations, they have to add something new or different and establish their credibility.
Sure.
So consulting without credibility is a funeral.
I love it. And you have to be prepared to have new input on your own ideas as well, which is, I believe, the first funeral, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a you show at that point anymore.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah,
No.
it's one of the hardest things. It's when I was younger, it used to be very difficult to, at first, coalesce others' ideas into something that was linear and tangible that we could work with, you know. And then as I matured a little bit, I realized it's just difficult for people to communicate sometimes because they're all maybe experiencing that first time where their ideas may be maybe not as baked as they wanted
Or if
or
you have,
received the right way.
or if you have control issues,
Or if you have, yeah, and then there's the deeper personality stuff, right? Yeah.
sometimes fall prey to perfectionism.
Mm-hmm.
If you think and move faster than others,
Yes.
if you're more experienced in a certain area than they are.
Yeah.
I have a handful of CEOs over the last couple of years, and they admit it's just easier to do it myself.
I've done it myself, Barb. I've been guilty of it. Very recently been guilty of that. And, you know, as you progress, you know, or you're in a fast growing company, you have a lot of very junior folks, you know, sometimes it's your responsibility. It should be your responsibility, I think, to mentor as much as you can and to share knowledge. But sometimes I have also caught myself saying, you know what, we're not going to slow down for that. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And it can be ugly on the other side.
When it becomes a pattern,
Yeah.
one of the top criticisms when we pulse CEOs for private equity companies
Yeah.
is that they get into the weeds too often.
Yes. I
So
can
there
see
is
that,
this
yeah.
fine balance. When something in your business is broken, it's important as a senior leader to go in and inspect and see if you can roll up your sleeves without a whole lot of ego and help out
Yeah.
and get it back on track. But if you cross over to taking the rollover,
Yeah.
getting into the weeds, doing the job yourself for too long.
Yeah.
In private equity, the writing's on the wall. You won't last as CEO because
Yeah.
you're not leading the company strategically.
Right.
You're lost.
Right.
And any
Yeah.
of us can be guilty of that at any given time.
So 2 funerals at a wedding, multiple meetings, but at the end of the day, consultation brings coalition
With credibility.
with credibility and a lot of
Yeah.
success.
Yep.
All right.